Cosmere can be a confusing place.
From allomancy to surge binding, there's a lot to look out for.
We're your hosts and escorts to the realms. I'm Griff.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the Silverlight Guide to the Cosmere.
Welcome to the Cosmere Variety Show.
Indeed, indeed.
Instead of giving you something that you're expecting, we're going to give you lots of little things that
you probably weren't expecting.
Or we're expecting at some other point from other sources because we talk about things. We don't break news.
No, we don't typically break news. This is true. We do usually have a news section at the beginning, but it's small.
So actually, I think maybe our Cosmere Variety Show is just taking the news and making it the entire time.
True, though we're going to theorize.
We are going to theorize.
So I think that that's worthy enough.
Yeah.
Of a full episode.
Yeah. So we'll start with Dragonsteel Con.
Right.
Dragonsteel Con has released the programming, games, and event schedule.
Right. Which I have not had a chance to look at yet.
I'm aware. So, it's programming, game room, and community at a glance. So they have the schedules, and you can sign up for a lot of these. Many of the things that had only a handful of tickets, such as D&D sessions, they're gone.
Yeah, that's fine. And
they
that's fine.
Gone.
I will say that when it comes to things like D&D sessions, et cetera, I tend not to enjoy them at conventions.
Sure.
I did a couple at Gen Con, which maybe not the best example. I don't honestly know. I don't tend to like playing with strangers.
My wife and I had a good experience at ReaperCon, which is a miniatures convention.
Yes, I remember that.
We had a good one-shot experience there.
Okay, fair.
So I'd like to take a moment to just read through some of the things that stood out to my wife and I, and to our friend Alex as well, who's attending. I'm Alex, but we have another Alex.
Yes,
attending.
a different Alex.
So, and then maybe some of the bigger things, as well as some timing that the listeners may want to be aware of, assuming I put this episode out ASAP, which I plan to. So
yes.
The main thing on that is that tickets for the Magic the Gathering
event.
What's the word where they...
The box, the thing.
It is...
I do not play Magic enough to retain this knowledge.
I know.
I know what it's called. Like, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Because
it is the...
Because the science teacher at my high school for 1 year was into D&D. Draft. Thank you.
Charity Magic Draft event. The tickets for those are going to be available on October 3rd at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Okay.
And
that's I guess that is where Utah is located. That makes sense.
If you are interested in that, I would advise that you check the tabletop website, because I probably got that date wrong, as I am not going to go into the event schedule and find it. But that is what stuck in my head. A lot of the other tickets are up. You don't need a ticket necessarily for most of the events, but you can see which events have a lot of room, such as anything that's in the Roshar room. There are 5,000 seats, so
oh god, okay,
they're not going to sell out. There's 3,000 tickets to the event or to Dragon Con.
Gotcha.
Dragonsteel Con. Dragon Con already happened in Florida. Alex, why did you say Dragon Con? Look, all right, it's been a long day. It's been a long week. It's been a long month.
I'm judging you.
You can judge all you want. Okay. So you can sign up for tickets.
Right.
It will create your schedule for you. And then you can have friends on tabletop events, and you can see their schedule as well.
Oh, nice.
Right. So let's go through just a few of these that piqued interest or are important in general. Once again, the book release is at 10 p.m. Monday night.
Right.
You will get a book if you bought a book, because you will show, when you get your badge, you will get a wristband, or maybe they'll attach it to the badge. So you don't have to stay until 10 p.m. You can get it the next day. It's not a big deal. Intentionally blank live podcast recording. Monday, 3 to 5 p.m. At the right after that is Five Favorites with Christopher Paolini and Mary Robinette Kowal.
Oh, interesting. So Christopher Paolini is going to be there.
Yes. Now, the thing with him, he's doing signings. You have to get a free ticket from the Barnes & Noble booth to be able to do the signing, which happens later. They have that as an event as well.
Oh, okay.
But you do have to be in line early enough to do that.
Okay.
Because I think it's a 2-hour signing block.
Right.
He's not just sitting there signing. And I don't blame him.
No, I don't blame him either. No offense, I'm not invested enough in his works anymore to really want a signing. But.
I might take the little box set of Aragon, Eldest, and Brissinger that I have.
That's fair.
And then, so we submitted to record our podcast in the Yolen room.
Yes.
Hopefully 11 a.m. Monday. That's right when the exhibit floor opens for general admission. Okay. My wife is going to man our booth. We're going to be selling wonderful stickers that she's made, wonderful key chains with little dragon charms on them that she's made. They look absolutely fantastic. I've shown them to the community of people I know that do Stormlight and Mistborn and Cosmere in general, and all of them have been like, oh my God, right? Yeah. They were like, let me know if you have extras because I'll buy them from you. Like, oh, well, I'll let you know. Yeah, so lots of good things going there. They're doing book clubs for each of the secret projects. So you can go and maybe, I don't know if it's a panel or if you all just talk about them.
Right.
Including the fourth one, they just don't have it named.
Right, because... Right. For obvious reasons.
Right. They have the standard Sanders studies where they'll talk about specific parts of the Cosmere, specific magic systems, specific worlds. I'm not really interested in that.
The new book is dropping October 1st.
October 1st.
Okay.
Which is...
next week? Or the week after?
I think it's the end of next week. Because our podcast is not timeless.
No.
Oh my God, just show me the month view. Thank you. No, it's going to be the week after.
Okay.
Well, Sunday night. Yeah. So it'll drop Saturday night at 10 p.m. our time or 11 p.m. our time. Anyways. Right. And then they have movie night with Dan Wells, though they haven't said which movie it is. Might go to that. I think that would be wonderful. Next day, an interesting one that I just, unfortunately, due to timing, not going to be able to attend. They're going to do a charity RPG of the Stormlight RPG playtest.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those ones where you can donate money and influence what's happening in the game.
Right.
One of the ones Tala and I are going to attend is the Dragonsteel fan holders meeting.
Okay.
Where Dragonsteel reps are going to talk about what's coming in the future.
Oh, okay.
So that we can report on that.
That'll be good to have, yes. Yeah. Because I think that they're going to want to make the convention a regular thing, which it kind of already is.
Yes.
But I always wondered if they're going to be planning more Kickstarters in the future.
They're definitely doing more Kickstarters.
I mean, obviously it's not going to be 4 novels because...
No. It'll be leather-bound words of raid, or it'll be leather-bound books. And so, I mean, I don't know how accurate it is. Sanderson said he wanted to do a book and then an merchandise or other Kickstarter a year.
I wonder if we can put to him at some point to do secret project style covers for his other novels.
So there is actually an FAQ that I stumbled upon yesterday.
Okay.
Not yesterday, this last week, and the FAQ was written in 2021.
Okay.
So the frequently asked question was, will you be making leather-bound books in non-leather versions? Right. And they said, we would like to. all of the options are not possible right now, but that's something we're looking at.
Okay, so hopefully they will, because I would buy the shit out of those.
Yes, I agree. So somewhere between the standard book price and the leather-bound price with a non-leather material, I think it's possible they could be ramping up to do something like that, given that they did hire extra people. They did move into a bigger warehouse.
Well, because the fact is that if we could have a consistent cover style for his other books in the
Right.
secret project cover style, and then have a unified bookcase,
Yes.
that would be phenomenal.
That would be phenomenal.
I would love that.
I could see them doing not just one per Kickstarter, but either two, or if it's a trilogy, do the set.
Yeah, honestly, because like you could do the entire 3 Mistborns, especially in that silhouette style that they have. Like,
Right.
I could see them doing it in a multitude of ways. But if they wanted to go all out, I think that doing some silhouette styles like what they have, but from Mistborn and that kind of thing, the scenes in Mistborn and Well of Ascension, et cetera, I think it would look really, really nice.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. So I'm curious to see what they say. I'm hoping what's ultimately going to end up happening is that Sanderson is going to end up with, and I'm calling it now.
Okay.
Sanderson is going to have his own publishing company. Sanderson is going to have all of the fashionable merch to have
Right.
before screen adaptations occur.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
He's going to have almost everything anybody would want.
Bags, shirts, et cetera,
shirts,
et cetera.
hoodies, beanies. We're already there.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I think it is likely that we are going to start seeing Sanderson stuff in Hot Topic.
That is a real possibility, with the caveat that if he has this fulfillment team and this warehouse, he may not license those rights.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, he may not. He may not give it to anybody and just do his own thing, which I'm not against either.
Sure. If he keeps the quality, which is what it appears to be doing, if he keeps the quality and he just increases the items that are available, because I know there are some things I'd love that aren't there.
Right.
A bigger variety of socks, for instance, or
Well, like I really
silk ties.
loved the toiletry bag that they made.
Right. Stuff like that.
That was great, and the product or the quality was phenomenal.
Absolutely. We used it on our trip to Los Angeles, and it held up. Perfect.
Yeah.
There's no. Yeah. So that's my foreshadowing for the event. I don't believe that he is going to announce that he's going to publish, or he's going to have a publishing company, until he has a variety of authors that have signed up that aren't Cosmere, so that his own publishers don't feel scared. And he may wait to do it until after Stormlight 10's released.
That's fair.
And then after that, he'll probably buy back all of the licenses to whatever and then do his own stuff. So that's what I am guessing that's what I'm guessing the fan holders meeting is going to be. And then for the Defiant release party, there's a spoiler Q&A right before that. And then I imagine he'll read 2 or 3 chapters from the Stormlight Archive 5.
Right.
So that's what he tends to do.
Yeah, that is because most of the end of day or end of con like presentation tends to be about what's coming in the future, not really what the con itself is about.
Yep.
Which is really the only reason I'm attending, because no offense to I'm drawing a blank on the series.
Skyward.
I know, but there was a name for this series, isn't there?
The Cytonic.
Yeah, Cytonic. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
I feel like it's the Skyward series.
Oh, is it?
It's the Cytonic Universe Skyward series.
Okay, that might be it. Then I was thinking Cytonic Universe. It's not bad.
No,
it's not my thing.
It's nice. So we're there to connect with fans
right.
of Sanderson and potentially us. So please stop by our booth if you like our
Indeed,
podcast.
please. We would love to hear from you. We would love to say hi.
There are 50 of you, and I know only 5 of those are people that we know in real life that have followed because I told them I have a podcast.
And one is, well, are you counting the people that I...
How
the
many
one
people have
person?
you told?
Just the one.
Oh,
Just Lily.
oh. Okay,
Does that
so
bring it to 6?
me, Lily, that guy. Oh, wait, that doesn't count as a Spotify follower. I don't know how many followers we actually have because I don't think Spotify counts followers on other platforms.
Huh, okay.
So, and I only look at, it counts listens from other platforms.
Right. Regardless, come say hi.
Yes.
We'd love to meet you.
We have swag. I believe we're going to have a free sticker. We're going to make a free sticker, Silverlight guide, something. We'll figure that out. Come to our podcast recording and we'll do some question and answer. We'll try to have some fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
And all right, so another option at the con is the Stormlight playtest. They have some sessions that you can join, and I don't know where the tickets stand right now.
Okay, fair.
But that leads us into the next Newsian Cosmerian stuff. The Stormlight Miniatures Kickstarter campaign is being fulfilled soon. It has shipped. I believe it's on a boat in the Pacific Ocean coming from China.
Okay.
And so the creator, Johnny O'Neill, he was at Dragonsteel Con last year on the Kickstarter, and you can just view this even without logging in or having to be a backer. He posted a video, and he has all the stuff right there in the packages.
Okay.
Oh my God, it is wonderful. And what makes it even more wonderful is that I don't have to feel guilt about having all of it, except with one caveat. And people can't access it just because I backed the Kickstarter and they can't, because all of it is coming to stores.
Right.
All of it is going to be sold, with the caveat they may do an additional run of the Clashing Storms statue of Kaladin and Zeth.
Okay.
The resin, like 11 inches tall.
Right, yes.
Beautiful masterpiece. There are only 3,700 something people that backed that, and I don't know how many people just bought it by itself. I'm gonna have like one of 4,000.
Oh, nice.
And again, they may do a second run. I'm not saying like it's not cheapening my experience.
Right.
It's got a giant ass box. Everything looks amazing. They have the bigger figurines. They did the 6. They did Dalinar, Shallan, Zeth, Yasna, Kaladin, and Adolin as bigger figures that are come pre-painted.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they're just for display. They're like an amiibo. Packaging looks fantastic.
That is wonderful. That is awesome.
I do think they could have gone there. I do have a suggestion. Johnny O'Neill, if you listen to our podcast, because I sent you an email asking for us to play test your game, if you listen, or if somebody knows Johnny O'Neill, I think the choices of which characters are on the boxes for the book specific miniature sets. So there's a Way of Kings, a Words of Radiance, an Oathbringer, and a Rhythm of War pack. I think the one on Oathbringer is Yasna. And I was like, why did you not put Dalinar? Why did you not go Kaladin, Shallan, Dalinar, Eshonai, or Venli for the backstory characters?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand maybe Rhythm of War people would be like, why do I want a crab person? But honest, if somebody looks at the Rhythm of War pack, I feel like there's a very small chance they just buy it without knowing what Rhythm of War was.
Right. I would say would be
Navani would be a moderately decent choice because she has the initial flashback with Gavilar's death.
I think one of the reasons they went with Yasna, and this is just my theorizing here,
For Oathbringer?
in general, I don't.
She's on the front of Oathbringer.
I know she's on the front of Oathbringer. I'm just saying that this could have gone if she had been on any of the boxes.
No, I meant she's on the front of the Oathbringer book.
Oh.
And in fact, that the clothes she's wearing from the Oathbringer book painting is how they modeled the miniature. Does that change what you're about to say?
Somewhat, but not really.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons that Yasna was featured on the book in general is one, I think she's a much bigger character than people give her credit for.
Yeah.
Because she is the fastest to develop her bond with her Spren.
Accurate.
She has incredible control over her powers. She was, it sounds like, the first to develop living shard plate.
Are we talking about fastest in the span of time or fastest where at the current time she is the most developed?
In the current time, she is the most developed.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that she was the fastest, like in the span of when she met her Spren to where she is now.
Correct.
But she is the most developed that we have in the book series as it stands, except for maybe Kaladin at the end of Rhythm of War. But we see her with active shard plate in Oathbringer. Do we not? Or is it Rhythm of War?
Definitely Rhythm of War.
I thought she had it when she went onto the field against...
She did not. No. And so the front of the Oathbringer book is her at the Wall of Thalen field wearing the clothes she was wearing in the book.
Well, even then she had incredible control over her powers.
She did.
We see her like creating staircases out of basically thin air.
I will say, because I just re-listened to this part because why not? Part of her power there comes from the fact that Dalinar has brought them together so she can see as well as she can into both realms.
Right, I agree. Like, I know that the part of that is due to the perpendicularity.
Yes.
But at the same time, she is still doing impressive things with her abilities. More than potentially the other characters, maybe Shallan with her ghost army thing.
I think Renarin coming back from being a pancake may be the most impressive thing.
That's fair.
But I'm also a truth watcher, so
yes, you are a little bit biased. To be fair, I'm
biased.
also I'm an else caller, so I may be a little bit biased to Yasna.
Yeah, no, I'm very biased.
But at the same time, like, I think that there are, but then again, like as I said in Oathbringer, until the very end, or not Oathbringer, Rhythm of War. Yeah, Rhythm of War, until the very end of Rhythm of War, she is the only one with active shard plate.
Yes.
Until Kaladin develops his.
Yes.
So I can understand why they may have included her. Plus, isn't she the one that wrote Oathbringer?
She did the footnotes. She did the... Dalinar wrote it.
Okay. So that might have also been a reason.
Sure.
Now, I could have seen them doing Dalinar for Oathbringer.
Yeah, but he would have been scary.
Yeah, that's fair.
He would have either been scary or it would have been giving away the
whole plot,
the whole shebang.
To be fair, I would like more artwork of the main characters.
Well, you're in luck because the Kickstarter miniatures campaign is official representations of the characters.
Nice.
They have been fully approved. They've gone through multiple revisions. Every single one of them is legitimately what they look like as best as can be represented and okayed by Sanderson.
Is it Kaladin on the front of Words of Radiance?
Kaladin is on the front of Way of Kings. I believe Adolin and Shardplate is on the front of Words of Radiance. Oh, you mean the book?
Yes.
Ah. I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. ¿Por qué?
I was just trying to remember if we had seen any really good artwork of the main characters.
Sure.
Because, like, I don't know if the ones on the front of Way of Kings are actually named.
But as the artist or the people?
The people.
Way of Kings is Eshonai and Dalinar.
Oh, okay.
At the battle at the Battle of the Tower.
Right.
Although it's much more artistic, I think, than the more literal interpretations of, because that doesn't look, it looks chasmy. It
Right.
doesn't look like the chasms in my head. Kaladin and Yasna and so on. Those look more like what I have in my head.
That's fair.
Anyways, and then what have we got? We were on the Stormlight Miniatures. Right. So you're going to be able to purchase all of these in local game shops. They may or may not have backed the Kickstarter and had the retail set sent to them. Hopefully in the future, especially as Sanderson grows bigger and bigger. Which brings us to the Stormlight playtest.
Yes.
Which Kickstarter backers are getting priority access to sign up to playtest. They do specifically want GMs. And I think what they mean is that they might prioritize even within the people that sign up. So they have options. You can say that you're going to be a player, you're going to be a GM, you're going to be both. You just want to read. If you choose, I just want to read it, they may not prioritize getting it to you.
Right.
And then they specifically want playtest groups for October 14th and the weekend of October 14th and the weekend of October 29th.
Interesting.
And people have questioned online, like, why?
Right.
So you do have to sign an NDA. And it essentially says, don't tell anybody that you're playtesting until the Kickstarter's gone live sometime next year. Don't share any images, content, anything relating to what is given to you.
Right.
With anybody who has not signed the NDA. If you are a GM and you sign up and you have a playtest group and you are going to give Brotherwise Games those people's emails so they can sign the NDA as well. There was a clause in the NDA I read that was like, any art made for the playtest by you is considered property of Brotherwise Games. I was like, yeah, okay.
Okay, that's a little sketchy, but whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but it's a little...
I imagine that's to cover specific plot points in whatever pre-generated or whatever module they have, whatever story they have going on. And it also prevents people from just like straight up copying the artwork.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then being like, oh, this is mine. So yeah, on the Kickstarter page, it says Kickstarter backers can sign up at that link. And then I imagine, so this is the alpha playtest.
Right.
They did pre-alpha, they're in alpha. And then I believe at Dragonsteel Con, it'll probably be alpha still. Yeah, so I think we're going to take some time to theorize on
how they're going to be doing.
Yeah, so we do have some official images from them at Gen Con. No, not Gen Con. Is it Gen Con? No. Whatever was in Indianapolis, the board game convention. They were there.
Oh, okay.
And they had a display case of some of the sheets, and I think I sent it to you. They did a video that kind of zoomed in on the Will Shaper's character sheet, and it was a Parshendi.
Okay.
And they had 6 stats. I believe it was 6 stats similar to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be most interested to see how they do the Stormlight mechanic.
Sure.
Not even the abilities of the different Knights Radiance, but specifically Stormlight, how it's imbibed, how long it lasts,
Right.
how you spend it, because I feel like it probably, if you want it to feel like the book, it's going to have to be intentionally vague, because while they make it seem like it's a hard and fast rule of how much Stormlight you can take in and how it's burnt and all of that, we're never given any specific numbers.
No.
So yeah, I feel like it has to be done abstract, because while it's played like it's hard and fast, we're never given enough information to know what kind of hard and fast rules it plays by.
Sure. They likely worked with Sanderson, and I know they worked with Dan Wells on more specifics, including, I think it was said in a stream, including how to build like half shards. Like that process was never talked about in the books. It was just talked about that, I think it was Yakovet or Karbranth was developing shields that could withstand more than however many blows from shard blades, but they never talked about it again. So they're bringing some of that smaller stuff back in and making it canon.
Right.
So that people can play ardents and researchers and scholars.
Neat.
Right?
I would say it'd be neat to see a Knights Radiant going in not only with their shard blade and shard plate, but also with the half shards.
Right.
As a shield. I think that would look really neat, and I hope to see it in the future.
It would be even cooler if somebody bonded two Spren and then one of them was a sword and the other was a shield. So
well, and see, okay, here's the thing though, is that I don't actually think that you're entirely, or that concept is entirely impossible.
It's not impossible. He said that people can bond two Spren.
Right. So I would be interesting to see somebody bond and make a sword and a shield.
It would be cool.
Now, could you bond two different Spren? That's the question.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Of different orders, yes.
So you can qualify for two orders.
Yes.
I wonder what your armor would look like.
Bad ass.
I mean, yeah, that's
But it was also, this is all from Words of Brandon, so it could be made
right,
up. Right. Not made up. It could be thrown out the window, which is fine. I'm curious to see the world guide for when to set games. And the reason I'm interested in that is we get almost, I think it's like a few weeks in between the Way of Kings and Words of Radiance. Then we get like 6 months between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer. And then we get like a year and a half between Oathbringer and Rhythm of War.
right.
So and especially because they developed the miniatures with this game in mind, if you're taking characters from the book, Adolin, let's say you're sending Adolin, Shallan, and Kaladin out on a mission and in the Shattered Plains between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer, is that what they're going to suggest we do? Are we going to have people that are role-playing the main characters and just, are they going to suggest that we make up a story inside that time and then these are the powers that those characters have at this moment? Or are they going to take us back to the Recreants where there's full Night Radiance, a ton of them have sworn the fourth ideal of their order, and kind of, are they going to have suggestions about what leads up to the Recreants? Are they going to suggest we put it between Oathbringer and Rhythm of War, and you could really go anywhere in Roshar and say the Alethi army has a stake in Makabaki, or in Makabak, or yeah. So, you take Bridge 4, fly it over there. And this is because I don't see. Obviously, there could be really low-powered political intrigue or even full combat simulations for pre-Gavilar's death.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because you could just do, this Alethi army and this Alethi army are fighting over this little land strip between this river and this rock. And they are including full warfare rules.
Okay.
So they do want this to be, so we'll see what happens. I don't know how much more there is to theorize about.
I don't know. Do we know what dice system they're using?
No.
Okay.
I think it's a D20 system.
That's
I think
fair.
it's very 5e. We'll find out whenever we go to Dragonsteel Con.
Right. Also, on a completely, well, not completely.
I was going to say, this is a Cosmere variety show.
So, you know how they came out with that sequel to Sixth of Dusk that you pointed me to? One of the things struck me. So, you know how we thought that it was potentially an Else Caller that was the one with the.
So there's going to be major spoilers for Sixth of Dusk.
Yes.
And potentially all of Cosmere. But these spoilers aren't really spoilers because this isn't a canonized piece of literature. We are just going to discuss the sequel that Sanderson read at a convention at some point in the past that you can find online. Anyways.
So the thing that struck me was the fact that I know that we decided it was potentially Else Caller because of the blue purple glow.
Yes.
However, there's something that kind of makes me rethink that a little bit.
To Spren?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. But that's not what I was really talking about. Because they talk about the symbol on the armor.
Okay.
How it's etched in. And they say that it looks like a stylized bird in flight. And I will not say that it's impossible for the Else Caller symbol to look like that. But when I see the Else Caller symbol, a bird in flight is not the first thing I think about.
I don't think that Kaladin's symbol on his chest is the Windrunners. I think it's Bridge 4. I think it's whatever the person wants.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong exactly, but so maybe it is just that.
So what I'm suggesting is that Sanderson has an idea for this group of Rosharan Space Knights goes by Chickens Ascending. They are Chickens Ascending. They all have plate armor that when it forms, shard plate armor, that when it forms, it has the Chicken Ascending symbol on it.
Okay.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Right. And I'm not saying you're wrong. That could very well be the case.
But now we need to name this podcast episode Chickens Ascending.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Because, it was just, when they talked about the stylized bird, it made me think that maybe it wasn't the Else Callers.
Yeah. It's convoluted guesswork, essentially, is what most of the Cosmere is. Nope. Figured it out. That's what it is.
But
that's the point of it.
This is interesting. It did that story. Again, I recognize that it's non-canon,
right?
But it did present some interesting little bits of information.
Sure.
Should it be canon?
Should it be? Which
is a Spren can form into a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
But not the ammunition for that ranged weapon.
Well, I mean, a gun doesn't have the explosive part inside of it. It is in the bullet. So.
Well, even then, like the guy forms the gun and then smacks like an energy pack or something into
Sure.
the side of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like a spren could be made into a bow, but it would not provide the arrows.
Sure.
Now that said, I could find it interesting where the spren creates the weapon and then uses the lesser versions of its spren instead of in creation of the armor, in creation of the ammunition.
That would be hilarious. Sil forms into a bow and you just go, whee!
Yes, exactly. Whee! With a little wind spren.
Yeah. I guess there's like 10 people that follow us on Spotify that we know. Anyways, keep going. So it's really only 40 of you. 40 of you, and maybe like 4 of you will be at Dragonsteel Con. The first 4 of you that come to our booth at Dragonsteel Con get a free sticker.
There you go. I just found it. I found that there were little bits and pieces here and there that were interesting.
Sure.
I will say, in that book, the Rosharans are dicks.
I will say, Kore wa Nihongo de nan desu ka? Which means, how do you say that in Japanese?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
But no, in that book, the Rosharans are dicks. So are the ones from above, which I think are Scadrians.
Yes, most likely. Or Scadarians. Yep. Yeah, so 4th Secret Project coming out October 1st.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. I will be listening to it at work, obviously.
Yep. I'll be doing something. Probably reading it. We'll see.
I think next episode we're doing White Sands.
Yep, we're gonna review White Sand. Which, is it really sand? Is it really white? Or is it an aether that's been corrupted by ambition?
Tough to say. There are some theories floating around, though.
Yeah. Some Cosmere theories. Cosmeres. Thosmeres.
These mirrors.
Thesis. Nope. All right. Theory. There's something there. Hold on. There's nothing there. All right.
Regardless,
we're also going to have Nightblood vinyls at the booth. We're going to have
yes, we are.
little vinyl stickers of Nightblood, all black. So if you didn't get the Warbreaker box and you're missing out on that sweet Nightblood action, or maybe you did get the Warbreaker box and you just want a Nightblood vinyl for your phone, you can destroy evil today by purchasing a Nightblood vinyl sticker at our booth. Which, as soon as we know where that is, we're going to let you know. I mean, it's definitely in the convention center. So, I think with that, we'll wrap up the Cosmere Variety Show.
I think so, yeah.
Which, if you put in ads, which this podcast is sponsored to you by Rosharans. They are the dicks in space.
And the letter C.
It's also sponsored by pre-alpha beta testing, which, why don't we just go down the alphabet? Are we ever really done play testing?
I mean, no.
Pre-alpha beta testing. What else is this podcast brought to you by?
Wednesday has been canceled due to a clerical error.
This podcast has been brought to you by Wednesday has been canceled due to a clerical error.
Brought to you by 2 people sitting on couches.
We are sitting on, is it couches or a couch?
That is a question for the listeners.
Yep. All right. So I guess we'll sign off now.
Indeed. So until next time, don't panic, world hoppers.
Life before death, strength before weakness, and
the letter C before destination.
oh my God, no. I guess it does come before destination. Seeing us at Dragonsteel Con before destination.
There we go.
The music you hear is Part 3, The Spirit, from Zavadilla's The Music of Elantris, produced by B-Roll Records. Available now on Apple Music, Spotify, and most music providers.
If you like what you hear and you want others to hear it as well, please leave a rate and review. It really helps us get more listeners.